Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Thursday, October 24th, and we are here trying to help you make better sense of the financial landscape that you confront every single day. Each one of you has something different going on in your life, and that's why we love it when you get in touch with us so that we can help you get where you want to go. All you need to do is go to JillOnMoney.com. That is our website. Click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and let us know if you would be willing to come on the air live with us by checking the box. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. Comes out every Friday. Mark does a great job with that. And also, you can subscribe to our service. It's called Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars, the back catalog of those webinars, and lots of other bonus video content and other stuff too. It's all for $35. Our next webinar is coming up pretty quickly. We're not waiting till the very end of the year. We're going Thursday, November 14th. We're talking about year-end planning. We're talking about tax loss harvesting. We're talking about how you should think about selling the things that are going up in value without creating a huge tax liability. All of that with CFP, CPA, Michael Goodman as our special guest. So that is what you will find if you are part of Jill on Money Live. Now, let's do some emails. It is time to get to you. This is from Judah, who writes, I would really love to be able to retire early, or at least to have that option when the time comes. I'm 31, I'm married, and I've got a 3-year-old kid, and hopefully a couple of more in the future. I'm looking to target being able to retire at age 50. I should be able to live comfortably on $150,000 a year after taxes. How much should I be aiming to have in my investment portfolio in 19 years in order to pull this off? Okay, here are some numbers. We make about $400,000 a year. We have about $412,000 in pre-tax 401ks, $229,000 in Roth 401k or Roth IRAs, $111,000 in a taxable brokerage account, $110,000 in a money market account. We are currently invested 100% in stocks. Okay. Listen, I can't even tell you how crazy it is to try to do this calculation because we know that you're going to need, multiple millions of dollars, 9 million, 12 million, whatever it is. But what I really want to point out to you is there are a few things that would help us in this process. Number one is, do we need to think about taking some of the money that you've saved, say, in that taxable brokerage account and allocate it for education? How much money are you putting away right now? And why is it that we get to this 50-year number without having some sort of thought about what happens after that? Like, are we going to work part-time? So, Judah, what I'd love for you to do is get in touch with us. I mean, you're going to need to keep putting a lot of money away. It seems like you've already put a ton of money away, but I just need to know a few more facts. And also, is that $150,000 a year what you're actually living on today? Get back in touch with us, Judah. We'd love to have you on the air with us. This next question is from Christopher, who wants to know if I take money from a non-tax fund, whether it's a thrift savings, a 401k, or a required minimum distribution, and I put it into a Roth while I'm still working. I know that I have to pay taxes on this money, but will it count as income for my end of year taxes? Yes, because remember, the money that you are pulling from these accounts has not yet been taxed as income, and it was income. So yes, this is income. Cheryl writes, I love your show. You and Mark make a great team. Both of you recommend what I consider to be a high percentage of bond investing to ride out the waves of the stock market. Every time I look into the long-term performance of bond funds, they're so low, and I don't get it. I have some retirement money in cash, but the vast majority is in broad market or exchange-traded funds. I'm 54, and I will have a healthy pension when I retire, 75 to 80% of my highest 3 earning years. I consider that my stability, so I'd like to maximize returns in my Roth IRA, most especially since I'm off to a late start and I don't have an employer match. Right now, I have only $250,000 in retirement. Am I crazy? Help me understand. Oh, you're not crazy. I mean, as long as you can take the ups and downs of being an equity or stock investor, you're not crazy. The reason why people put up with, endure, or like the relative not so great performance of bond funds relative to stock funds is they do want that stability. So as you get older, sometimes a loss in your equity portion of your portfolio gets pretty hard to take. So the good news for you is that you've got a healthy pension and maybe you're going to get Social Security. And so maybe, you push the pedal to the metal on your Roth IRA and you maximize the possibility of earning more money by being in stock funds. That's fine. But I just want to be clear that as you get older, sometimes those peaks, they're a little less exciting, and the valleys, boy, they hurt a lot more. But Cheryl, feel free to go all in on stocks. Just buckle up for the ride. This next note is from Ryan, who writes, recently you talked to a guest who was worried about funding long-term care in retirement since Alzheimer's and dementia runs in his family. What is your take on him potentially taking a portion of his pre-tax retirement account and allocating it to a long-term care instead of Social Security? Since medical expenses that are more than 7.5% of your adjusted gross income are tax deductible, this could be an efficient way to use a portion of the pre-tax money. And since your guest has a great pension and Social Security, I thought this could be a viable alternative. Of course, this approach could cause higher required minimum distributions later in life. So at the end of the day, perhaps it's a judgment call. Ryan, you actually raise an amazing point. And that is that so many of our personal finance decisions, they are actually judgment calls. And this kind of gets into Cheryl's question as well. And sometimes the question is, which choice will cause you the least amount of anxiety? So for some people, it might be that I'd rather have a tax bill later and know that I can pay for my long-term care expenses today. For others, it might be that I don't know if I'm going to need long-term care, but I do know I'm going to have a tax bill. So in many cases, when we're talking about your decisions to make, we are talking about things that are less bad, less anxiety provoking, rather than what optimizes your life. I really do think that sometimes perfection is the enemy of the good, especially when it comes to your personal financial choices. Okay, this next question is from Jennifer, who writes, my mother is 76 years old and her sister passed away a year ago. She left my mother a house. My father passed away in Maine. So my mother decided to move into the smaller house and to sell her primary. She will use the money from the sale to supplement her income for the rest of her years. She does receive Social Security as well as a pension. The home will net her about $300,000. At 76 years old, would you look at investing that money or maybe just putting it into an interest-bearing account and withdraw as needed? Well, Jennifer, this actually is a question about what your mother's needs are. Does Social Security and pension currently cover her expenses? If the answer is yes, then certainly the money can be put aside as an investment. If the answer is no, that there's some sort of gap, whatever she needs per year should be put into an interest-bearing account. But presuming the Social Security and the pension do cover her expenses, and both of them have cost of living adjustments on them, mom could live a long time. So I would suggest that maybe investing this money in a balanced portfolio, again, keeping the money that she knows she's going to need over the next couple of years in an interest-bearing account. But the amount that you invest could be considered a way for her to fund future things that the Social Security and pension will not cover. Jerry writes, my wife and I are retired. We have pensions. Both of us are taking Social Security. I am 72. She is 65. We were both previously married. Both of us have adult children from our first marriages. Our assets are $2.6 million. We currently have an account with Fidelity that they are managing, and we don't want to be in actively managed funds and pay an advisor 10 or 15 grand a year for this service. We really want to be in index funds. We feel that we need the assistance of a financial planner. We would like the planner to get us set up and meet with us semi-annually. Can you help steer us in the right direction? We want to spend our money wisely in retirement. Thank you. Well, absolutely, Jerry. I think what you're seeking is something called a fee-based planner, or somebody who will charge you for the actual creation of a plan and you can then execute that plan. Now, one of the greatest ways to find that kind of advisor is through something called NAPFA, the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors. So you can go to napfa.org and find someone who will create a standalone plan with you, and you can go back and pay that person. Now, here's the thing that's important. It may cost you 10 grand to do that first plan and maybe a smaller amount of money going forward. That person is there to create the plan and meet with you on an ongoing basis, not to manage the money. So hopefully that will help you out, and let us know if you need more assistance. Okay, that is it. That's the program. We are so happy that you join us every day. Boy, we are lucky, Mark and I. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. As always, we like to remind you to do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.